All right, it's Election Day here in Texas, and if you did not vote early, today is your opportunity to vote in the primary runoff election, and because of that, the ballots will be different for Democrats and Republicans. So here's some of the big races to watch today. MJ Hagar and Royce West are hoping to unseat a Republican senator. Whoever wins the runoff will challenge Senator John Cornyn in November. And former Congressman Pete Sessions is trying to make a political comeback. He'll face political newcomer Renee Swan. Now, to get the full list of who's running, text the word VOTE to 214-977-6028. We're going to send out our voter's guide right to your phone once you send us that text VOTE. Okay, so as you do that, let us know. We got, or to let you know, I'm looking at like 27 minutes or so before the polls open at 7 o'clock this morning, and they close at 7 tonight. It's going to be different, as you can imagine, a different feel. Chris Sadeghi live with us this morning on what to expect when you head out.
Well, Kara, this is one polling location. They open up here in about 25 minutes. They, along with a lot of others, trying to figure out the best way, the safest way to hold these elections. This runoff election was originally scheduled back in May. It was delayed because of coronavirus, and since that time, we've only seen the number of COVID-19 cases go up. In Dallas County and Tarrant County, they say that absentee and early voting doubled and tripled the normal amount that you would see for a runoff election. That means making sure everything stays sanitized, trying to get these polling places ready, clean, ready to go, keeping people in line 6 feet apart, and having masks on hand for everyone, even though masks are optional. There's also the issue of finding poll workers willing to put themselves at risk. It has been tough in Dallas County, and a couple of locations in Tarrant County were closed because they did not have enough. But voters can also do their part by knowing their polling location and coming prepared.
What I'm concerned about is being out there and being exposed. Don't be exposed. Cut the time down by having your ID ready, knowing what you're voting on, and just going straight to it.
And I mentioned the masks are optional. In Dallas and Tarrant County, they had considered a line for both people with masks and people without masks. They decided against doing that. However, they said, depending on how things go today, it might be something they do in November. This election today, somewhat of a test run for the general election. Tashara, back to you.
It certainly is. Chris, thank you. Well, there have been many organizations trying to make sure that Texans don't forget about hitting the polls today. In fact, if you live in Southeast Dallas near Forrester Field, South Dallas, and really all the way to Oak Cliff, you might start to hear a whole lot of noise around 9 this morning. That's because several community groups and local leaders, they plan to drive the vote this morning with a Pack the Polls car parade. Think of this as your very own alarm clock to make sure you don't forget to vote today. They chose these areas in particular because historically, they say voter turnout has been low.
We picked or chose was very strategic, and we're going through communities. So we're taking the back roads, the back streets, through houses, by apartment complexes, so we can wake up people. So if you go to the website and you see that you're along the route, come outside and just make some noise with us.
The one thing that we need to put trust in is our power in voting, right? So we're not actually going to pick people up to take them to the polls, but we're definitely going to wake them up at 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning and make sure that they're putting voting on their schedule for the day.
Now, if you plan to show up, you can still register this morning at packthepolls.eventbrite.com. They're asking everyone to decorate their cars and prepare to make a whole lot of noise out there. If you don't want to participate in the parade, it's all good. You can meet them at one of the polling locations to vote. Of course, wearing your mask, y'all. You can also show up there to show your support. They'll be stopping by Skyline Branch Library, the MLK Junior Center, and the Oak Cliff Sub Courthouse. Again, I've tweeted out that information. I've also shared it on Instagram and Facebook for more details. Mark?
All right, thank you, Tashara.